folks. This is Android Gate development video number 1. We are going to talk about a little bit about the Kilobolt tutorial series, which I think is a really good tutorial to get you started in your Android development hobby, as I have. I'm not a professional coder by any means. I do have some experience with Java from college, but that was a long time ago. So I'm coming to this project as a newbie in all sense of the word. So the idea here is to share with you guys the progress and to see if anyone is interested in sharing experiences with their own development hobbies or development projects that they had. So let's start. This is the Eclipse environment, as you probably know. This is the compiler that I'm using to develop the game, as recommended by the Kilobolt series. My Kilobolt game is so far composed from 3 classes. This is not done yet. This is just a very basic functionality of the game that I wanted to share with you. I don't want to get too much into detail about the code because that's like an extensive topic, and also I'm not an expert in Java by any means, so I could say things that are wrong or not true. So if you're curious, I encourage you to take the tutorial in the Kilobolt website that I'm putting in the comment sections for this video. So let's start looking into the classes a little bit. The starting class is the class that executes the game. Robot class is the class that creates the main character, which is a little robot, and background is the class that creates the background for the game, the background for the graphics of the game. Starting class executes robot and background. We import a heavy number of libraries. Here you can see that I'm importing applet, color, frame, graphics, and these two, which are key, never pun not intended, which are the ones that allow me to input commands directly to the keyboard of my laptop, and so control the game like that. This is some variable initialization. I'm initializing the robot object class and the background class object class, and this is the image which creates the graphics. I'm not going to go into too much detail. As I said, if you're not familiar with Java, well, please get familiar, because these videos are not about explaining code and just going through them. This creates the graphic frame which we will be using to develop the game. I'm sorry, not to develop, but to see the game, the graphic interface. So we're using a size of 800 by 4080 pixels, and it has a starting color of black. Before we draw the background, we are these commands, these 3 commands, I don't fully get them. If you know what they mean and how they are coming together with the method, please explain it to me. This is an add key listener, which I guess is calling to the key listener library that allows input of the keyboard, from the keyboard, I'm sorry. These are character. This is what develops the graphics. I'm just calling some images which I have here. I have an image for the background. Oh fuck, sorry. I have an image for the background, which is this one. I have a little image for our robot character going down, robot character going up, and that's where I'm calling that in Eclipse. Okay, so this starts the actual method, the actual applet. This thread, I understand that these are objects that allow me to run simultaneous processes in Java, but I would like to understand the nature of threads a little bit more, because at this time I don't fully get them. Haven't done this yet. This is the core of the game loop. What this does is update the game in such a way that my character moves so fast, it updates itself so fast that it creates the illusion of motion. You can see I'm calling the robot class here, and I'm trying to, yeah, to call in the background too. This is what creates the illusion of motion. What this means is that the game is updating itself every 17 milliseconds. Uh, and it updated so fast that it creates the illusion of motion. For reference, 17 milliseconds equals to 60 frames per second of motion, which is a standard of games today. This is very important for game development. I would like to understand this a bit more. I do understand some of the methods and how are they coming together, but I would like, as I say, I would like to understand more about the thread class. Okay, this is another method that I would like to understand more. I understand from the tutorial that this is making the motion of the creation of the graphics, the creation of the motion of the graphics more smoothly, so the game doesn't flicker. This is really technical, as the tutorial really went into depth with this. I do understand some of the code. I understand this calling image objects. I understand this calling a second object, which is an image object, but I don't understand how is it coming together and what are these methods doing. I can guess, but I could be wrong, so if you can clarify to me, please do. We are painting our little game, painting the graphics, creating the graphics. These are just getters and setters to get the classes talking to each other. Nothing new there. These methods are really important because these are the ones that allow me to input from the keyboard, right? So if I press up, press down, press left, press right, press space, I get different results, as we will see shortly. Same here. This is the method that defines what happens when I press a key. This is the method that happens when I release a key. This method is not yet done. So without not further ado, let's fire up the program and see how is it working. Okay, so you can see that it painted the robot, it painted the clouds, the background, and if I input, I'm moving left, moving right, left, moving right, moving left, moving right. Okay. So what happens here is that I'm moving my little robot. If I move beyond 200 pixels, the robot stops and the background is what stops. Is what starts moving. If I press down, the robot goes to dock and stops. The background stops. If I press space, the robot jumps and also the background stops. If I press space while moving, the robot jumps, kind of like Mario. Okay. Why the robot stops there? This is by design of the program. I can modify very easily the speed at which the robot is moving, so we can experiment with the movement of the robot. We will do so in a further video. Right now I just wanted to give you a very brief outlook of how this project is looking, and we are going good so far. Okay, thank you for listening. Please comment, share, like, explain the things that I do not understand. Comment if you have any ideas to improve this algorithm, please do. Goodbye and see you next time.